In the steel-strung depths of the year 93, in a creaking crevasse in the depths of the chasm, in a cliffside cafe with a gloaming in the way, sat old Ashlyn Green and her sweet daughter May. Old Ashlyn Green was a mean old bitch, had a sword with a bite like a lightning strike. It was 6 feet long, and she kept it on her back, and it slotted in that spine space where the scars didn't stick. She had a face like melting granite and the shoulders of a soldier, and she'd watch you like a cat until you'd wish that it was over. Her sweet daughter May, well, they built her out of steel. They made her so the Fae couldn't touch her if they tried. She was tiny and was stringy, and she gnawed on coins like grapes, and she trailed after Ashlyn like a can on a wire. Sure, Ashlyn didn't birth her, but can't you see that doesn't matter? A daughter is a daughter, no matter how you steal her. A garden needs a gardener, a beehive needs a keeper, and a teacher needs a student, for better or for worse. It was a slow old evening in that cliffside town, where the paths trailed downwards to the depths of the earth. There was a blood rain falling from the wires up above, and Ashlyn watched the crimson till she noticed someone coming. It was a small, small man with a crook to his neck, with a coat so long that his legs didn't show. He came down to the corner where the two of them were sat, and the small man sat across them, and he watched them till they finished. He asked her, "Ashlyn Green?" And she blinked and just said,
"Sure."
And he said, "You're taking jobs now?" And she asked him,
"What's the work?"
"There's a mansion on the surface," said the man, "and something's in it. It'll take all of your cunning. It'll take your sword to win it. But that's what we call business, and we'll get to that in no time. I've got another question." And she said,
"Ask away."
He said, "Did they do it? Did they take your heart away? Did they take it in a week? Or did they take it in a day? Did they take your will to love? They're tricky things, the Fae." And Ashlyn could have said so many things, she really could. But why say words aplenty when just a few will do? So she stared the small, small man down, and she waited till he squirmed, and when he wished that it was over, Ashlyn said,
"It's true." When I was younger, they made me a knight. They called me a prince, and they drowned me in light. The Fae took me in, and I knelt by their throne. Back when the world was green and was grown, the Queen's name was Love, and she kept me like gold. She said I was precious to have and to hold. She called my shoulders strong. She said my eyes were cold. She said I was precious to have and to hold. Well, the world went to hell. The land dipped into the earth, and all the cities fell. In the blackness of an evening, it was always evening there. I held my love close to me. I held her like a prayer. I said, "It's time to go." I said, "It's time for me to go." She said, "You'll never love another." The wail of the Fae ripped my heart out, stole my name, and set me on my way. Now I run the dwarfs till midnight, and I walk the woods till dawn, and I teach me all the clever ways to kill the skyward spawn. You'll never love another. They said it was my curse. The woods are full of many monsters, and I might be the worst. You'll never love another. That's what my lover said. But long before my knighthood, my love was cold and dead. Love is cold and dead. Love is cold and dead. Said the hunter to her daughter as they stepped along the way. Beware of long Lankin carved out by the Fae. Said the hunter to her daughter as they moved past the steel. Beware of long Lankin, remember what's real. There was rust all in the steel string. There was rust all in the sky. There was rust all in the windows where the light came to die.
Long Lankin was crafted in 72. And by tick and happenstance, Ashland's sword was too. They both were the product of circuits and static, of writhing electricity, aberration, erratic.
Said the hunter to her daughter as they passed by the door. If Lankin comes to you, drive him to the floor. Said the hunter to her daughter as they broke down the lock. Slice open his neck quick and don't let him talk.
Long Lankin was made by the Fae on a whim. A lost luck solution when going got grim. If the bloodful got cocky, if they crawled from the cracks, Long Lankin would swoop in with a grin and an axe.
Said the hunter to her daughter as they crept up the stairs. Draw your knife quickly and kill all your fears. Said the hunter to her daughter as they passed through the hall. I can smell him, he's here now, be swift and be small.
Long Lankin, he grew from the walls like a rot thing, all crackling energy, quivering strings. Down the stairs Lankin came, an arrow shot straight, and May vanished into the darkness to wait.
Where's the lady of the house, said Long Lankin. Her body's cold in the basement, Ashland said to him. Where's the master of the house, said Long Lankin. His body's cold in the stairwell, Ashland said to him. Who killed the lady of the house, said Long
Lankin grim he drew his axe, the hunter drew a sword. Both flickered with electric light that neither could afford. Lankin went low, the hunter high, their blades clashed with a flicker. The monster moved like liquid light, but Ashlyn Green was quicker. He carved a gash right through her arm, she dealt it back threefold. He screamed and skittered up the wall, creeping there like mold. She wrenched her sword upward toward the rust-cloaked figure's thigh. He tensed, he leapt, but overstepped and tumbled with a sigh. Lankin's eyes were sharp and bright, but what he hadn't seen, the grey-cloaked child whose eyes were wild, the child of Ashlyn Green. Panic makes you clumsy, but planning makes you smart. Ashlyn put him through the leg, and May stabbed through the heart.
There was rust all through her wiring. There was rust all through her hair. There was rust all through her circuit boards where May lay Lankin bare. There was rust all in the kitchen. There was rust all in the hall. There was rust all in the stairwell where grim Lankin did fall. Here's one thing I know, I had to go. Sweet little May, she was made for the fate, and made for the Fae's demise. Darling May, all cloaked in grey, only 12, but her mind was wise. May so dear with her flat cold stare, and eyes that made Ashlyn melt. May so fair with her silver hair, and a knife tucked tight to her belt. Here's two things I know. She said that she loved me, I still had to go. And bone tired, aglow with all the victory for which they've both been hired. With rust-flecked hands to the small, small man, they did present the head. He gave them pay for him lay on Lankin or dead. Here's three things I know. She tore on my heart. She said that she loved me. Still had to go. Ashlyn Green and May Celine, they rambled home together. Home was a car with a gash like a scar, cold steel and warm leather. May Celine and Ashlyn Green got ready to move on. The sigil sealed, the tires squealed, and then they both were gone. Four things I know. She said that she loved me. She tore out my heart, and I don't know what love means. I still had to go. I still had to go.